Hi, and welcome to CPASandiego.com. Let's talk about business tax filing. Learning how to file LLC taxes, S-corporation taxes, and taxes for other business entities can be one of the biggest headaches of owning your own business. Filing taxes for a business entity like an LLC can be especially confusing because of the multitude of options the IRS allows for limited liability companies. The IRS does not recognize limited liability companies as a tax classification. CPA San Diego shares that, for tax purposes, you must select an IRS-recognized business tax classification. One of the first steps to file LLC taxes is to determine how you plan to handle income. How many members are involved in the LLC? Do members draw a salary from the company or simply share revenue? If there is only one member of an LLC, does that member want to claim company income on their personal taxes or file taxes for the company separately? Answering these questions determines what forms and tax classifications are necessary. File a Form 8832 to elect tax classification. Form 8832 notifies the IRS which business entity or tax status you plan to employ for filing tax returns for the LLC. A sole member can opt to either disregard LLC status for tax purposes, thus claiming income on their personal return, or opt to file taxes as a corporation. A multi-member LLC can opt to elect S-corporation classification and pass income to each member on a pro rata basis, file taxes as a partnership, or opt to file corporate taxes as a separate entity. Forms 1040, 1120, and 1065 are all options for filing LLC taxes. Which form you use is determined by the tax classification chosen on Form 8832. If you're a sole member and opted to disregard LLC status for tax purposes, you would use a standard Form 1040 for personal income, with appropriate schedules for profit or loss from a business. If you elected to file LLC taxes as any form of corporation, regardless of membership size, you would use Form 1120. S-corporations file the tax returns using Form 1120S to report pro rata shares paid to LLC members. The IRS recommends that two-member LLCs file taxes as a partnership and use Form 1065. The IRS offers extensive information to aid in tax filing for individuals, as well as businesses. They even offer an entire section devoted to tax filing for a limited liability company. You can access that section by going to www.irs.gov. As with any important financial matter, consult your tax advisor if you are unclear what tax filing options are best for your LLC. A limited liability company is a business operated by one or by several owners called members. If the LLC has only one member, it is taxed as a sole proprietorship. If the LLC has two or more members, it is usually taxed as a partnership, or it may elect to be taxed as a corporation. This type of business is considered a pass-through entity because the taxes of the company are passed through to the owner or owners on their personal tax returns. The LLC business form is not considered a tax entity by the IRS, so an LLC pays federal income taxes based on the number of members, and the profit losses of the LLC are passed through to the member tax returns. A single-member LLC is considered a disregarded entity, and the net income of the business is calculated on a Schedule C from the individual's Form 1040 for federal income taxes. CPA San Diego shows that the Schedule C profit or loss is added in with other income by the owner and spouse to determine the total amount of income tax payable by the sole proprietor. A multiple member LLC files its tax returns as a partnership. A partnership pays income tax by filing an information return with the IRS, and the individual partners file a Schedule K-1 on their individual tax returns to show their percentage of the profit losses of the partnership. Here is the process. First, the partnership files an information-only return on Form 1065 and submits it to the IRS. Then each partner's share of the profit or loss of the partnership is recorded on a Schedule K-1. The K-1 information for each partner is reported on line 17 of the partner's Form 1040. Most states use the federal information to determine total income for state tax determination. Now let's talk about taxes on a corporation. CPA San Diego notes that an LLC is also eligible to apply to be taxed as a corporation. Usually this election is done if the tax structure would be to the advantage of the company. The election is submitted on Form 8832, Entity Classification Election. LLC members are considered self-employed individuals. Each member must pay self-employment taxes based on his or her share of the income of the LLC. Here are other employment taxes to consider. If an LLC has employees, the business must pay employment taxes, including withholding and reporting federal and state income taxes, paying and reporting FICA, Social Security and Medicare taxes, workers' compensation taxes, and unemployment taxes. CPA San Diego also notes that if the LLC owns a building or other real property, property taxes are required to be paid on this property. Limited liability companies are also required to pay state sales taxes and excise taxes in the same manner as other business types. Check with your State Department of Revenue for more information on sales and excise taxes. Limited liability companies are not typically liable for franchise taxes, as these are levied by states on corporations. For more information and to schedule a free consultation, please visit us at cpa-sandiego.com.